Joining us to tell us more about this kickoff to car show season is the executive director of the Troy Historic Village, Jen Peters, and Mark Lieberman as well from Nostalgic Motoring. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you.
Glad to have you both on. Jen, I'll start with you. This is the 16th annual Troy Traffic Jam. Tell us about this event and how it really is that perfect kickoff to car show season.
Absolutely. We are a community event, like you said, 16 years. The great thing is we pull together a bunch of great cars, everything from antiques to exotics, and everything in between. We'll have about 300 cars, but we'll have about 5,000 to 6,000 spectators. And those are folks from the community. Some of them are car gurus, and some of them are people who are coming for the first time to a car show to see what's going on. And they get to see these great antiques and classics. They get to learn about them at our tech talks. They get to enjoy, a jam. We've got some live music this year. We've got kids pedal car races. We've got robotics demonstrations. So it's really a jam-packed day full of activities. Not just a car show, but a car show plus.
Yeah, and as you said, it's something for car lovers of all different levels, whether they're experts and they go to all these car shows across our local area this time of the year, or they just want to see some cool cars, learn, and have some fun. And Jen, one of the many people they'll be able to learn a lot from at the Troy Traffic Jam is Mark Lieberman. He's the president of Nostalgic Motoring. He'll be at the Troy Traffic Jam with a very special vehicle himself. You'll have one of your Tuckers with you at that. This is a really specialty car because there's only a few of them that are still remaining in our area. Tell us about the Tucker and why this is the special vehicle people need to see at this show.
Well, Tucker has got an amazing story behind it, and the vehicle is incredible just in its physical presence. But there was a movie done on it by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Jeff Bridges, a number of years ago. And if you haven't seen it, you should. But the Tucker automobile is very special. They only built 51 cars in totality. I'm bringing the last car off the production line, car number 50. And it's a beautiful example. These are very special vehicles. They're rear engine, aluminum engine, have many safety breakthrough features. The first padded dashboard, pop out safety glass. They were designed to be very fast but very functional cars. This is an automobile that's almost 19 feet long, but yet in 1948 had a top speed of 130 miles an hour. And what else would go 130 miles an hour, let alone this big four-door sedan? So it was quite incredible. And the story behind Tucker is equally incredible, as you had a lot of drama surrounding Tucker when it came out, and an SEC investigation, and a whole variety of things. So I'm going to be out there with the Tucker. I'll be telling the story of Tucker, and you'll get a chance to see firsthand this historic automobile.
Years and years ago, we did a special feature. Steve Lato joined us for a special report alongside you to talk about Tucker 48. You'll be bringing Tucker 50 out there. And I had to take a look back at that as I got ready to talk to you today, Mark, because some of what you talked about in that conversation were the special safety features and sort of those modern features we expect in a car that were present in Tuckers way back in the day. Talk about some of those, including some interesting things that were put in place to help people maybe avoid injuries in the event of a crash or being jostled around.
Well, here, one of the most prominent features of the car is its center-mounted headlight. It turns with the steering, and while we're desensitized to some of these features now, the center headlight was very stylish at the time, and in fact, some of the states had actually made it illegal. You had to cover your center headlight because they thought that it would confuse oncoming drivers. Which is interesting because the center headlight never lights up when you're going straight. It only lights up into a turn, so it would light your pathway into a corner. Some of the other interesting innovations in the car are reversible seats. You can take the front seat out and put it in the back in order to even the wear. The car was innovative in terms of suspension too. It has four-wheel independent suspension, which you didn't really see in 1948. Very fascinating car, milestone styling. It looks like it's going 100 miles an hour while it's standing still. Big pontoon fenders and suicide doors. Very cool automobile.
You can see it all for yourself at the Troy Traffic Jam Sunday, August 4th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That is at the Columbia Center on Big Beaver Road, just at the corner of Livernois. Mark Lieberman is with us from Nostalgic Motoring, one of the many people that will be out there showing off one of their classic cars. We're also joined by Jen Peters, who is the executive director of the Troy Historic Village, hosting this event here in Oakland County. Jen, it's got to be so cool for you working with different vendors and with, of course, the car collectors to bring people together in a way that really shows the passion of the local area. How does that factor into bringing out this really breakout of the car show season?
Right. Well, we couldn't do this without support. And Mark, and we have a whole team of car experts who bring their specialty to it. So we'll have a lot of Corvettes, some exotics, things like that. But we've also partnered with other people. So we have Troy Fire Department, Troy Police Department. They're out there with some of their vehicles. We've got some of the Troy First robotics teams from the local high school and middle school. And that really brings that educational piece to it, along with the education of the history of the cars, like Mark was talking about with the Tucker. I learned something new every year. I knew about the headlight. I didn't know that it went on and off depending on how you were driving, which is awesome. So it's a unique community event in that it is the car show and so much more. It is our biggest fundraiser for the Troy Historic Village. Like I said, we're always bringing elements of education. We're always bringing elements of community to this. We have some kids' hands-on activities. We've got that pedal car race that brings some of that history into things and is a fun activity for the kids. And it's all then benefits the village, where we bring 28,000 visitors a year for field trips, for history talks, for hands-on blacksmithing classes and watercolor classes. So it's a great event, and it supports a great place. I'm sitting here in the village this morning right now because I want you to see just a little bit of what that money is going to and what it's supporting.
And to follow up on that, Jen, why are these sorts of events not only important to the Troy Historic Village or to the people that live in the city of Troy, but to those all across Oakland County? Because this is not just isolated to Troy. Anybody can come to the Troy Traffic Jam.
Absolutely. Like I said, we have that huge draw, 6,000 people. You are coming to Big Beaver Avenue, one of our commercial district, our center of Troy, the heart of Troy. So you're going to come and enjoy a day in Troy, and you're also going to probably come and have something to eat while you're here. Go do a little shopping. It really showcases the city. It really showcases those partnerships, how we work together in the city to really provide quality programs, quality events for families and people of all ages.
Well, Jen, we thank you for being with us, and Mark as well. Before we let you both go, as we approach the 16th annual Troy Traffic Jam on Sunday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mark, there's so many people that are going to come out there with their classic cars. Jen previewed some of them, the Corvettes, the other muscle cars, you with Tucker 50. Now, from your perspective, as someone that goes to these car shows, what do you do to maintain these cars? Because some of them last for a very long time. What goes into that?
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because, all of these cars require attention and maintenance. And we see so many of these. I own Nostalgic Motoring, and we buy, sell, restore, and service classic automobiles in a variety of circumstances. And we see so many cars that suffer from, we'll call deferred maintenance. But, for the majority of these collector cars, they're something that the owner is very passionate about. So they tend to pay attention to these cars and provide them their needs. The kicker on these is that these are vehicles that were built under a different engineering situation a long time ago. So they're not modern vehicles. They don't operate like modern vehicles, and you can't take care of them like modern vehicles. As a result, you have to step back in time and spend a moment where you're going to put yourself in 1960, 1950, and say, okay, what kind of service was done there? How can we apply today's modern materials, modern oils, technology in order to make sure that this vehicle lasts forever? I mean, how long can we make these things go? A lot of these vehicles are generational. They're passed down from father to son to grandson, and people cherish these vehicles. So you take care of them, you maintain them, you find a company such as ourselves that's capable of taking care of this car for you, and you make sure that they last for many, many years to come.
And when you make them last, you are able to show them off to so many people, and people can enjoy. One of the great cultures of Metro Detroit, we're the Motor City, for crying out loud. The Troy Traffic Jam kicks off car show season across Oakland County this weekend, Sunday, August 4th, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Columbia Center on Big Beaver Road at the corner of Livernois in Troy. Jen, Mark, thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you so much.